Oh, we're live. We're good. Good to go. Take a sip of my coffee. That's what I need. I need a coffee sponsor. Like, people don't understand. Like, I drink coffee, like, nonstop. If it's not water, it's coffee. And when I'm not in Ohio, it's coffee and water. But when I'm in Ohio, it's usually beer, coffee, and water. But that's for my Mercer County people. Good evening. This is Ants Marching with Mike Wessel. Jessica's in here today. We're going to do another one just testing. We're testing just to make sure we have everything good to go. Kind of wanted to give a shout out to ASU, the Arkansas State softball team. They're a club team, which I could totally disagree with. I don't understand how a major university can have softball as their club team. And it's pretty ridiculous that they're still a club team, considering they were the 2017 World Champs, the NCSA World Champs, 2018 Conference Champions, 2018 Regional Champions, and 2018 Runners-Up. So they're World Champions, Regional Champions, and they're still a club team. However, Rebecca Tree is one of my clients at Hilltop Fitness, and she messaged me that she's coming in tomorrow and wants to get a good workout and everything else. And they are now the 2019 conference champions and number one seed in the regionals. So they're going for the world championship again this year, the softball world championships against K-State, 10 a.m. on Saturday. So congratulations to Arkansas State Red Wolf softball team. I'm a full supporter of you guys not being a club anymore. You guys I don't understand that. I mean, some of the smallest universities in the nation all have their softball teams as not club teams. And the fact that the cheerleading is not a club team at ASU, and softball is kind of, to me, sad. But congratulations, girls. I'm not going to be a negative on your night of partying. Enjoy it. Enjoy it tonight. And then get ready to hit it back again this weekend. I know Rebecca, she messaged me. She comes in and works hard. I mean, I got her beasting out. She's their catcher. And how tall is Rebecca? Like 5'11", 6 foot?
She's tall.
Yeah, she's tall. And she's a catcher. But she's a beast, man. I kick the crap out of her. Like, it's fun to torture children. Yeah. And she always leaves red face and she's sweating. She's trying to make that body look a little bit better too. You know, that's her thing. That's not my thing. My job is to make you athletic and capable, but she wants to be pretty as well. So, but she's been working hard. I was kind of going over some things here. Just in the beginning of this week, we're trying to work it out. What's up? Did something die? Oh. The kitty or the dog knocked over the microphone at Jessica, so you couldn't hear her. We are still working on this. That's why this is another little practice run, because tomorrow night we might have Dexter Jenkins and Justin the Grizzly Bear Frazier from the latest UFC, the Ultimate Fighter, excuse me. And he fought in the finale at the UFC. He's got a big fight coming up for Pyramid Fights here in Arkansas soon. That's in June as well. And okay, yeah. And he in June he's got a fight coming up. But yesterday, man, I'll tell you what, these boys came in. Frazier came in, and and Justin and me had fought before. We fought for Bellator against each other. And have been friends ever since. I mean, truthfully, he's like a little brother to me, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just he's 10 years younger than I am. And, Jesse Hernandez, one of his buddies, came from Oklahoma. He's been training with Justin, getting ready for Jesse's fight next week. And then Jeremy, I forgot his last name. Jeremy Prutney. He's a local guy. He won Golden Gloves, I guess. A boxer, and he's been working with me. I've been working with him, whatever you want to say. But man, there were some heavy hitters in there yesterday. And when me and Justin, the reason I said like little brothers, when me and Justin spar, it's not like when I sparred Jesse or when I sparred Jeremy. When me and Justin sit in our grounds and sit in our butt, we're throwing blows. Like Stevie, his wife, is like, she goes, "Are you guys mad at each other?" And Jessica kind of heard it, and she kind of seen it. She's like, I couldn't look up there. You guys were just blown away. And I was like, but that's the thing. It's not like we're getting better, but it's also fun to play with Justin and have the and just have that. I liked it that I know I can still take blows like that. Now my neck is a little sore today. I'm a little bit stiff, and Jesse, I'll tell you what, his buddy Jesse Hernandez, who he was training, man, I'm just glad I'm old and almost done. I'm glad I'm out of the MMA game. I know I can't do the grappling and all that stuff anymore, but man, Jesse's something. I think he's 7-1, and he's something. He was a beast. I mean, he was touching me up pretty good a couple times, to where I had to adjust my game and my speed. It was like I didn't expect that, but he was a big dude. He had a giant, a lot of tattoos, and I found this out. You don't call Samoans. Those are a cookie. Samoan, I think. Samoan is what they kind of people. He said people get offended because he had the tribal. Now that when you see Samoans have the tribal on their legs, that means like they're the leader or they're like the whatever the number one person or something the most important person of their tribe when they have it on their lower body. And he had the one on his arms and everything else, and he got permission from some Samoans. That sounds like Chinese to me. Well, I guess it is Polynesian. But anyway. And I'm not making fun of any Samoans or Samoans, however you want to say it. I'm white and partially monkey. And, it was very interesting talking to Jesse because he's got tattoos like mine, which is his whole upper body, but mine's my whole body. And he said that, if I was to get the Samoan style tattoos on my lower half, people would be very offended. Like their culture would be very offended. You only get that. That's like an honor. You don't even do it. And it was an honor for him to even get the tattoos that he had because I think he's pretty much he's Hernandez. So there's got to be a little bit of Spanish in there. I'm imagining, with my cultural limitations. But he looked like a dang Samoan. So that was kind of interesting. Just talking to him about the tattoos, and then Jeremy, he was a hell of a guy. He was in there sparring with everybody, but man. Me and Justin were going to some blows. So hopefully he's got to go out to Michigan on Tuesday. So he's going to try to pop up here with Dexter Jenkins and come to a podcast after we do a little bit of sparring and beating the hell out of each other tomorrow night at Hilltop Fitness.
My clients were even like, are they sparring? Are they really mad at each other?
Well,
I don't know. I can't look.
Well, his wife is there. Is like, but that's the thing, There's nothing but love. I mean, my one nostril always bleeds, no matter what happens. And if somebody gets me on a good shot, and Justin got me with a bunch of good shots, I ain't got no shame in saying that. Justin's a beast. Like he's ranked one in the top 30, top 20 in the world. So like I'm glad I could still be in that realm. And I talked to him afterwards. We were messaging and everything else. I was like, man, what'd you think? What'd you see on me? Because I've been out of this. I've not fought in 2 years since 2017. My last MMA, which I'm boxing, but my last MMA was for Bellator with Frank Mason. And then my boxing was Jamal Woods. I think it's the last name, Jamal Woods. And that was both in 2017 when I won the grappling tournament here as well. Then I've had my knee surgeries and all that. So I'm 41 years old. These guys, I didn't know if I do really well against Justin. I kind of get nervous because he's got some power that's just, that I don't have anymore being an old man, But it was really great having him up yesterday and training with all those heavy guys, man. It's hard to get men that size all at one place at one time. There's a ton of 155ers and a ton of 170-pound guys, but it's really difficult to get the heavyweights that are decent, that can last more than 30 seconds. There's guys that, oh man, I'll get in there and work with it. No, you're going to end up hurting me. You're going to end up, by hurting me, I'm going to go slower, and then you're going to haul off and do something, so, as a pro, you kind of learn not to do that, play with those guys, but it was really great having those guys in, and hopefully he's able to make it down tomorrow. We're going to, I think, train at 6 from Big Dexter Jenkins. He's got a fight coming up, hopefully. That's the guy that tore my ACL on my leg and everything. Let's wait till you see this monster. You ever seen the Green Mile? Remember that guy?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like Michael Clark Duncan, man.
He's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, he's coming tomorrow. If Justin can make it down, he'll come. If not, then I think I'm going to Batesville to train with those guys down there. So that Justin I just have to make a trip up. But I know he's leaving for Michigan on Tuesday, so he's kind of pressed for time, and I understand that, and so, if he can't do the podcast or whatever, I'll probably just go down there, make it easier on him. But also, Michelle Weir and Barry Weir were here the very first podcast. The reason we started it off so quickly, we didn't expect to go that fast, but they are $515 from their Barry Don Jr. Endowment Fund, which means it's a scholarship fund, but it's not like the scholarship with this endowment fund. It don't ever go away. It's for life. That means and that's a lot of them with $25,000. $25,000 they had to raise for that. But they got you talk about that because I wanted to make sure, because look, my opinion is, man, to help the community out, help these people out. This is going to a kid for a scholarship that doesn't have to be just football, but a trainer, a manager. That's what their son was, who passed away in a car wreck with several other children. And this is for life, man. And this is a very cool thing. They're $515 away. Go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry.
They're $515 away from making it endowment status. And they're having a pork steak or some kind of dinner.
Rib.
The 27th. Ribs, pork steak plates.
Yeah, ribs.
At Whitten Creek Apartment on the 27th.
Okay, so the Whitten Creek Apartments is the apartments that you were.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, if anything, just her name is spelled Mechle. I hate names. But Pollard Weir, and then look up Barry Weir. It's spelled Weyer.
Yeah, they have a page for him for the scholarship.
Okay, for the endowment
So
fund.
Barry Weir Jr. Endowment Scholarship.
Yeah, Barry Weir Jr. Endowment Scholarship. Look at that. Put it in an order. Order $50 of food, eat some ribs, get fat one night, and just help out a good thing. They've really worked hard. And the 5K that they had, that's why we rushed this podcast, and we get them on a couple of days before the podcast, and maybe it helped them out. And I hope it did. They're just good people, and they're doing a lot of good things for people. And I want to make sure that, just send them a message, say, hey, I want whatever you want. You can go to their Barry Don Jr. Endowment Fund on the Facebook and put in an order, or just kind of see what the cause is. Man, they're $515 away. That's pretty awesome. I'm very proud of both of them. That's awesome. I'm happy for both of them. Not proud, but I guess very happy. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but anyway, so we talked about Rebecca, and the ASU oh, Lord. That's why I need more coffee. I need a coffee sponsor, please. I drink this stuff more, but no, Rebecca Tree, the ASU softball. They're at regionals this Saturday versus K-State University, which is awesome. And I just kind of wanted to go over some things, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go that one. I'm gonna go that direction, I don't get this Game of Thrones thing. Okay, man, I've got cussed by a couple people. You don't watch Game of Thrones? I figured you'd love that. Blah, blah. Man, I'm sure I would. I really don't. But it's not that I don't like it. It's not that I'm not interested. I can watch it at any time, but I don't want to waste my time doing that, I guess. It's not anything on this Game of Thrones, because everybody's like, oh, man, half the pervs out there are like, oh, there's so many naked chicks and blah, blah. Dude, you can see naked chicks anytime. I don't need to get into this show, about it. But it's, it kind of reminded me of when I was driving here. I was getting a text message from a buddy. Did you watch Game of Thrones? It was awesome. Waddles did Woodworth, and the smaller person did. Let me go to a sidetrack here. Okay, if I say something not politically correct, it's probably because I've been saying it since I was 10. And maybe this is a little lesson for people. Give some older people a little bit more time to adjust to the words of smaller people and not calling people tar. I had to it, but it's one of those things where I've said that word not making fun of anybody. I've said that word, and just because it meant something, meant nothing back then for anybody to say it. It's just like saying GD in the South. You go to the North, everybody's going, and here they're like, don't say that. Don't say that. And I started fighting back a little bit on that word just because, like, look, that's your belief. Don't tell me what to say and not to say. That's not my belief. I was raised Catholic. I'm not really following Catholic rules. I have my own type of thing, my own beliefs through my own research and everything else. But on those words of the politically correct, everybody needs to back off a little bit and stop being so damn sensitive and getting your butt hurt. Oh, he said that. Well, you've heard worse on probably Game of Thrones. You've heard worse, so chill out on people, especially older people. I'm 41 years old. It's going to really take me a long time not to say or call people certain names just because, just like the word, fag. That's something you've been, I don't even know that when I was a kid, I associated that with a gay person. It was just something you said. I had no clue because I don't know of any gay people that were in my town at that time. And I remember that's all we did was call each other, fag. It was, so it's kind of like that play on words, and people are just so damn sensitive now. I'm just sick of it. I guess I'm that old man and my front porch and my rocker going, get your damn ball out of my yard. Get your ball out of my yard. Yes. But anyway, back to the Game of Thrones thing. People are so passionate about that. That was like me with Sopranos. I love The Sopranos. I loved it. And I kind of was about that, whatever that motorcycle one was. I don't really remember. It was okay. I watched pretty much all of it. But the one with Peggy Bundy. You remember that one?
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Do you know what that one was? God, it's the motorcycle. Sons of Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy. There you go. That I'm the one that gets hit in the head, and you guys can remember that.
I don't watch TV.
And that was my point. Like tonight, I was getting cussed. They're like, "You don't watch Game of Thrones," and blah blah. I was like, "Man, my life does not revolve around a show. Know what I'm going to do as soon as I get home? The laundry, take care of the cat, take care of my food, get my stuff ready for tomorrow. I'm getting up at 3:30 tomorrow, homie. I've got things I've got to do before I get to bed tonight." Including this podcast, and then hopefully, if we can get through one where it doesn't break up and it doesn't, are we live on Facebook right now?
We should be, yeah.
We should be live on Facebook. Right? Let's check. Yes, let's check.
It's recording for sure, so we can always upload both formats. But
yeah, we're recording and everything else.
First time trying Facebook.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. It's the first time trying live on Facebook through the cameras. Last time I had it on my phone, so it was kind of. Touch and go. Maybe nobody's watching us.
We're not live.
We're not live.
On Facebook? Mm-mm. Are we on YouTube then? Because it says we're live.
Are we recording?
For 18 minutes, yeah, we're doing both. We're streaming and recording.
It's not on. I don't see it.
On Facebook?
I don't see it on Facebook or YouTube.
Well, I hope
we're live on something.
Well, something's live. Well, anyway. Well, we'll record it and just put it back on Facebook here in a bit.
Yeah, I mean it's recording, so we can always just upload it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's make sure we upload it on both as soon as before we leave.
Right,
So I'm glad I said that because we're still testing the watchers and making sure everything else before a couple other guests. Like I said, Justin Frazier might be in tomorrow night. I know Scott, because of the Easter holiday and everything else, Scott McDaniel had all of this, and we forgot about Easter, so. It was kind of a wreck right there. But anyway, back to the Game of Thrones. If you're wanting something to watch that's kind of Game of Thrones-y, that's more real, watch The Wrath of the Khans. It's about Genghis Khan. And, like, it's a document. It's not a documentary, but it tells the life of the Khans and all these. That is amazing. They left... This is the carbon. They changed the carbon footprint of the Earth. Genghis Khan changed the carbon footprint. What he would do?
Doesn't he have like
one?
I thought you said China is like his descendant.
No, like 1/3 of the world's population has a DNA strand to. Because that's what he'd do. He would ransack the people, and he would kill all the men, kill all the boys, and leave only the women alive. He would take them and make them part of their clan or whatever else, and they'd be their villages or whatever. And he would with everybody. Him and his people were just, every female got it. Every female was raped, whatever, or just did it willingly. You know, but 1/3 of the population has the Khan DNA in them. And okay, they changed the carbon footprint of the earth. So when they do the little tests in the ground of like whatever, you can tell when Genghis Khan was alive because he burned everything. He just marching, and if you didn't submit to him, if he came to your town and said submit to me and submit to whatever else, we will kill you all. If you didn't, in the Wrath of the Khans, there's a story of this guy. I forget what king he was or whatever he was. He's the leader of this empire. And he said, no, I'm not submitting to Genghis Khan. We're going to war. Well, Genghis Khan lined up his entire family, cousins, brothers, sisters, wives, kids, raped them all in front of this man. Raped every one of them. Genghis Khan personally raped this guy's family in front of him. Babies, kids, adults. No. This is the Game of Thrones type stuff. And so this is what I'm in. This is history. This happened. Okay, what Game of Thrones is, it's dragons and whatever, and great. I'm glad everybody likes it. But it's the Wrath of Khan. And what he did to this man was he took this man and put him in a small cage. Like a cage, a box. Like it's this bag, and he was hunched over. Everything else completely nude, and put him on the cart that Genghis Khan drove, and drove him to every town that he killed and pillaged, and just kept that guy in that cage until he died. So the king that said, I'm not submitting to you, he just kept him in this little cage and raped and killed his family. So if you're looking for something that's more of Game of Thrones, watch The Wrath of the Khans. That'll flip your, and it's true. You know, they changed the carbon footprint of the world. This one guy did, this one tribe. And then there's some new other things after about his kids and everything else and how that all went down.
Is that on Netflix?
I think that's on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime. Also, one of the shows I watched, I was supposed to take a nap and I was eating The Dirt on Netflix.
That's awesome.
That was the Motley Crue.
That was awesome. Yeah.
It's like a documentary with actors.
Yeah, it's called a
docuseries.
I hate to say mockumentary, but it's a documentary, but it's like a reenactment essentially.
Yeah, it's
their life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reenactment. The Dirt is a reenactment of what Motley Crue went through, and like it was awesome. I mean, at one point with Vince Neil, because most people don't know. I mean, they should know if they know anything about Motley Crue that his daughter died. And man, it got sad. It was just it got to this point where it showed every one of them. What Mick Mars, a guitar player, he had a disease in his bones and everything else. It was bad. You know, it was one of those things where it was crazy. But it was a great one too. But you know, I really don't watch. If I watch anything, it's at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed. I'll turn the TV on and fall asleep to it. And usually I'll fall asleep to like stuff that's murdering people and stuff like aliens or time travel. And I was watching, was it the other night? I was watching this thing on it was about Alexa and Siri. You know, and people were like, well, you know, do you think that phone's listening? Yes, it's listening to you.
I think so too.
Yes, and they're like, well, the government's listening. It might not be the government, but whoever has access to that phone is listening. It's listening to you. Alexis and Siri are listening. Get them out of your house. Especially in this one murder documentary, this dude murdered his family, killed them all, and then said he was on vacation, came back from vacation, like did all this rental car stuff and hit it perfectly. Would have never got caught. Like he just to kill his family for the insurance, just sick, a wacko guy, you know, who knows. And he was killing his family. And Alexa or whatever it is. And Alexa recorded everything. So all the cops had to do was go in the house and go, Alexa, play back the past 24 hours. And Alexa goes, so-and-so, like Donnie was in here murdering his family, and you can hear it. Like, played back everything. Recorded like 2 hours of audio of this guy killing his family.
Wow.
Crazy. So if you don't think that's what I was watching, that's what I watch. I watch real things like this AI stuff, man. It's gonna be, they're gonna be running us. I mean, that's we better merge with it. I mean, when you see Elon Musk talk about it. He's one of the ones that invented it and told like the president, like, dude, we need to slow down. This is going to be bad. And I'm not too sure that he's not one of them. When you watch some of the interviews with that guy, and he seems like a great guy. Seems like a very intelligent guy. He sleeps on the floor of his factory at the Tesla factory and everything else. And there was with the podcast on Joe Rogan's podcast, he smoked weed and like the stock prices of because all the white collar, oh my God, he smoked marijuana, blah blah blah. They dropped the stock. I wonder if he did that on purpose. Like he's like, man, they got rid of it. They're like, oh, Tesla, because he was smoking weed legally on the Joe Rogan Experience, and his stock prices like plummeted in Tesla. But then somebody bought it back. Like within a day, somebody bought all of it back. And then like 2 days later, the stock prices go back up. So all the white collar, big wig money guys like dropped the stock. Like, oh, he's smoking weed. We can't have that, blah, blah. We're part of the stock market. And they dropped the stock, like he was going under. For one, if I had a chance to buy a stock, yeah, I would be buying it. Because he's got SpaceX. He's got all these things. Elon Musk is who I'm talking about. And his stock prices dropped in Tesla. So all these white-collar dudes, the country club buttholes that hang out with Mike Guerrero. I have to hate on Mike Guerrero of Kusi, but he's a friend of mine. He's a client of mine. I love him. But all of his buddies, at the yacht club, the Bushwood Country Club, they dropped all the stock in Tesla. But somebody bought, like a group bought it back, like right immediately. When people were dropping that stock, people started buying it back because they knew it was going to bounce back. And so they bought their stock back way cheaper than what those people dropped it as. And then now they're, once again, millionaires again. It was like a great investment because of that thing. But anyway, my point was, no, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't have time for it. And I know people are like, you need to make time. No, man, I want to watch something that's real. Like this AI stuff, like this Alexa stuff. And when she caught on audio this guy murdering his family, and he had it perfect. He wasn't going to get caught. There's nobody involved, but he figured a way to text himself messages from another phone, and for that message to have automatic answers go back to this phone number that was this flip phone. Like
he really thought it through.
Oh, he thought it through. The dude just wiped out his family. He thought it through, and Alexis is the one that got him on a recording for like 2 hours. It was crazy. So,
do you think our phones do that?
Yes.
Too?
Well, yeah, I mean,
and OnStar,
well, that's a button command, but it's possible. It's your phone. That's how you can be like, hey Siri, and every phone in the room lights up,
Well, I mean, you've seen my phone go nuts before.
I know.
You've seen my phone go nuts. Like, I didn't even know it was on, and it was like recording everything I would say, but it wasn't recording, like, because it was muffled. It records and sends out messages to people.
I know. I get some of those messages. Like, what do you mean?
But that's the thing. My phone will go beep beep like that. I'm like, oh hell, it's on, because my hand hits it or whatever. I don't understand it. But yeah, so anyway, to kind of close the thing about the AI stuff is I'm not saying it's the government. Somebody's listening. It's listening, and it's recording everything you do. And so be careful when you look up your porn search. Be careful. Alexa's watching you. There was even a documentary where through TVs, this hacker went through the TV and was watching some of his neighbor's living room. He's like, yeah, watch, there's my neighbor. He goes, and he hacked into his buddy's TV across the street and was watching whatever's going on in their house. So they can see there's a reverse image somehow. I don't know how they do it. But yeah, that stuff's real. So that's what I'm watching. So I'm not watching Game of Thrones. I'm watching The Wrath of the Khans, where he's killing everybody, which is true and crazy because I love history. But the Alexa, the Dirt was a great documentary on Netflix. I watched The Dirt. It was a great series, and the AI stuff. But it gets like some of these shows. Like I love talking shit. I love just to get riled up and get me going. I'll just like you blah blah blah. I love talking trash. And so something like that's what I like talking trash about, because this is a little bit higher intellectual stuff that I kind of do watch. I might not understand it, but I can repeat it. So I can cheat a little bit. Am I talking trash? But it's like tonight, me and a buddy of mine were talking trash about the Game of Thrones. And, and when you hear me, I'm trying to text message, and everything else. So I hit the sound button when Siri's recorded me to talk to text. It's not really making fun of, but I said a lot of un-PC things, I believe, tonight. And Shane from Bighorn Hollers, he's one of the sponsors of me for my fight, June 1st. His truck blew up or something, so he's always a good one to talk trash to. He's, I live for some. If you can talk trash to me, please sit down. Just give me a topic and let's just go at it for a little bit, because just people are boring to me and no one's very good at it. Sorry. I'll call myself the reigning champion around here. That's the way it is. But no, speaking of what we were talking about, the kind of things that I was watching, I had a friend, and I ain't going to say her name on here just because I don't want to put her on blast, but she messaged me, and she's like, Mike, I changed religions. She's like, I converted to Islam. I was like, oh, really? I was like, she's like, she kind of said it. I was like, I don't want you to judge me, and I don't want you to, here, I'm going to say you fun.
That's right, brother.
Is it? My bad. It wasn't
You
really.
lifted it real quickly.
Well, your hand was over it, so maybe.
Man.
They have to click it pretty quickly, but I think that you're good.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was thought up too when you said it.
Yeah, she was raised Catholic and everything else, or Christian, whatever. I don't know what base religion was. Catholic, Christian, and she's like, I didn't have a relationship with God. I was finding struggling and blah blah blah, and I converted to Islam. So when I'm in public, I cover my hair now, unless I'm training and doing my stuff or whatever. I cover my hair, and she thought I was gonna judge her, and I was like, why would I judge you? You're still the same person. I still love you. I care very much for her. I was like, that's nothing on me. I told her actually, like, I'm proud of you, for going against what you were told your whole life. And because you found false in it. You didn't believe it anymore. It wasn't as true. I was like, that's what life's about. Finding those things that don't make sense to you and making corrections along the way to put them in place, to put yourself in a better place. And she's happier now. She says, I'm happier now. I feel better. I feel like I have a better relationship with God. I'm like, well, great. That's great. That's, I'm not going to judge you because of that, because you're self-critical and are making changes to better yourself. Do I understand it? No, but that's not my damn business to understand it. I don't need to understand what her personal growth is. That's for her. I'm not gonna, that's for her to find her own way. And so I'm happy for her. Do I know enough about Islamic religion? No, I've read the Quran, just to see what it was like 10 years ago, but I'm sure they've changed it since then. Because they changed those books a lot, even though they think it's never been changed. Yes, it has. There's been proof in and I know you're a big faith person. I know, look, I am too. It's just not in the same way of you. You like to go to church. I can't stand to see the people that are lying, that are standing in those pews and going, oh, we love Jesus and we love God. But, those are the same people that sent me text messages too. And those are the same people that are married sending me text messages and saying, oh, I'm all about Jesus and I'm all about God. I can't sin and I ain't going to say this. And they're the ones that say, hey, don't say GD. But yet they'll send nude pictures or send something they shouldn't do because they're lonely or whatever else. But they're all about God. You can't pick and choose to me. And so my religion or my beliefs, it's not even religion, because I think organized religion is a scam. It's a scam to me, and I'll let you talk here in a second about your beliefs, but it is a scam to me. It's just it's a great thing to get people together. The only thing that my grandmother said that really stuck with me, I said, I talked to Grandma probably 15, 20 years ago about this, and I said, Grandma, I said, do you really think you should be taking, you know, her great granddaughter Ayla, my niece, to church? Like, you know, you left the church because they kind of kicked you out, you know, because you got divorced, even though you needed to get divorced, you know, and they invited your husband back, but not you. You had to pay to get back in the church. But because men made more money than women at that time, which they didn't know, my grandpa was broke. He never made no money. He didn't make any money. He was just a farmer, horse racer. Grandma made all the money, but they made her pay to get back into the church that she went to the grade school, she went to the middle school, she went to the high school, and just because she got a divorce from a man that wasn't part of that church, she had to pay, but the man that wasn't part of that church could come for free. Don't worry about it. You're okay, Bill. You know, I'm not saying anything bad or good about my grandma, but they did the same thing to my mom. And I went to that same church as a kid, and I went to the grade school. Now, was it the best education in that town? Absolutely. I got the best education. All those kids are now, like, some of them are in the Senate. Some of those came from the school. Dave Soccer, I think he does something for the Senate. Like, the important people came from that school, so we had better education. But it was derived off of religion. And when I became the age of sensibility and seeing that not everything they're saying is true. You know, I understand that it's in the book and it's supposed to be, the book's supposed to be true, and those are stories to me. Those are guidelines. Those are examples. You know, and if you read the majority of everybody else, Buddhism and all these other religions, they all have the same stories, just in a different way. There's always a flood. There's always something. There's always something that happened to make these things happen. It's all the same stories.
Because it's God inspired.
Yes, because it's God inspired. But man changed those words. And they've changed it over and over again. They're like the Old Testament, the New Testament. Well, they didn't include all the pages of the Dead Sea Scrolls. A lot of things about Mary Magdalene that ain't in there. There's supposedly a book of her, like the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, Paul, Jimmy, Tommy, whatever their names are. You know, that Mary Magdalene was supposed to have them, but because of the way the Catholic Church looked at that as a woman, for one, you know, they didn't want that because then it gave you rights. Then it gave you a woman having higher power. You know, the Catholic Church is one of the most corrupt places, organizations that I've ever myself witnessed. What's that?
Little boys, and they get transferred to a different church instead of going to jail.
And that's something, you know, that's not minimal, but that's a whole nother topic of something. But, you know, it's just like the Scientology. Those buttholes ain't paying taxes. They're fine. Because they're religious, they ain't paying taxes. Because it's used as to be corrupt. And the way Catholicism does it, all I gotta do is ask for forgiveness. Now, Baptist, we're in Baptist country, baby. So that's what I was saying about when I'm not going to go to a church and support a church when I know those people for real. When I know,
it's not about those people though. It's not about the religion. It's about your relationship. It's about your relationship with Christ. It's not about those people. And yes, those people are doing things, but it's not about them.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, I can have my own religious experience, my own beliefs by myself. I mean, I'm sure Carrie will be upset with me about this. You know, if we ain't on Facebook Live right now, I guess we're supposed to be. Genius over here shows up late. So I'm a genius. I get it. We're on something live. But probably X videos or YouPorn. But
they're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, but that you know, my beliefs don't have to be the same as yours.
No, they don't.
You know, and I'm not gonna look down on you. You know, do I tease people? Do I poke? Yeah, that's part of me talking shit. That's part of me being that guy that I am that enjoys getting a rise out of people. You know, but regardless of whatever your beliefs are, I do believe there is a God. I do believe there is one being. I'm not too sure that it's not aliens. Not too sure that we weren't created by the scientists, and there's a bunch of people that look us up and say we came from the constellation Orion. We came from the Anunnaki and everything else, which is all conspiracy and all whatever else. But there is a God. There is a higher power. There is another world past this when we die. I truly believe that. I don't know what's there, but I know a lot of people that take DMT and these psychedelic drugs. Then the scientists are even saying that they're doing studies on the burning bush with Moses. And was it Moses? Or was it Jack? Is Moses? Moses. Okay, making sure. I might keep me up here. Moses is that they thought he was on psychedelics. Because when you do DMT and you do these psychedelic drugs, you see these things. And everybody says the same stories. Everybody comes out of these with the same stories. About these certain things. About this peace, this love that you're supposed to have, and this inner stuff. I've never done DMT. I've never been part of that world. But I know that there's something else. Because we really don't remember the womb. And that was a universe to us. That was a world to us.
So do you not worry about there's a life after this one? And heaven and hell being real? They're real to me. Mm-hmm. But do you not worry about that and living eternally?
No. I mean, that's simple answer, no. Long answer, I believe this is hell. This is complete hell. We have to put our time on this earth to better ourselves, to be able to be conscious enough so when we pass on to the next life, we go to the next world, and we have proven ourselves to be good of heart, good of spirit, and everything else. You have to do certain things to be able to go to the next life. That's not a physical meat body. Okay, that's a spiritual. Right. That's this is conscious. That's this thinking. We just exist without a physical body. Because here's the way I look at it is I can't imagine any other hell. You cannot hurt me more. I don't care if it's burning for eternally, blah, blah. If you were to take my kid and he was to die, or if I was to lose a kid like Michelle and Barry, that's hell.
But if there's a way that you could live eternally with him or be separated eternally from him.
And I'm doing it. I have my relationship with God. I have my beliefs. That's not for everybody else, and they don't have to believe me.
Right, and I'm just asking.
No. I mean, and that's the thing. I don't really believe that there's a heaven and hell. I believe there's an afterlife, and if you don't pass the test, if you don't make it through this life doing the things that you should, doing the things that God wanted to do, loving people, caring for people, taking care of people, being a good human, you're not going to go to the afterlife. That would be, hence the word heaven, and what you guys are talking about. You're going to go back here and be recreated and have to come back as another one until you do it right. Until you find a way to make this life right. Because they said not they say, but I always read and I always listen. The things that I watch, there's these universes, parallel universes and everything else of people that are just redoing it. And they remember. They wake up and they're like, these kids that are saying, Daddy, I was this person. There's no way the kid could have ever found out the information. But he remembered his past life. Or he died tragically and wasn't able to do what he needed to do. We all have a purpose on this earth. I really, truly believe that.
Oh, I do too.
And we have to do something, or whatever that purpose is, fulfill that purpose for us to go to the afterlife, which is, in your wording, heaven. Hell is coming back here to do this over again in our meat bodies.
There was a Jack Black movie about that.
Was it really?
He just keeps replaying his life until he does something right.
That's Groundhog Day with Bill Murray.
That's Bill Murray, yeah.
Bill Murray, Jack Black. I was like, Jack Black.
I don't know, yeah.
That's Bill Murray. That's Groundhog Day.
On the bus at the
Yeah. That was a great movie, by the way. But no, that's my beliefs, and people can say, well, Mike's, whatever. Well, if you're judging me because of my beliefs, you're part of the problem. Because one of the things that I'm big on, as far as, I don't judge nobody. You do whatever, as long as it ain't hurting me or my kid or hurting anybody else, man. Do what you need to do. Knock it out. Be the person that you want to be. And it's not
completely. We're not called to judge people. We're called to love people.
That's one of the biggest thing that God says in that book. There is, don't judge. Let me judge. Yeah. And people forget that sometimes. And people, and that's why I told her. I was like, no, I'm proud of you. You're going against the grain. Yeah, people are going to judge you, but that goes back to the things that I say with anything. Anytime you put yourself out there to be different, anytime you step out of that ant line, the ants marching line, everybody's going in this line, anytime you step out, everybody's going to be critical of you. It doesn't matter if it's religion. It doesn't matter if it's changing your sex or being gay or whatever you identify as or whatever else, or trying to be something, trying to be famous, trying to be a fighter, trying to be an athlete, trying to be something. You're always going to be judged. You're always going to be hated on. So don't be so damn shocked when it happens. You're going to get criticized. No matter, you get criticized for just being a good person. Everybody in here gets criticized for just doing what they want to do. You're a horrible person, you this, that. People are going to say whatever they want to say. So it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can be shopping in groceries, or you can be a different religion, or you can identify as I'm a man, identify as or a woman. I don't understand this. It doesn't matter. I don't care either way, because those people are still good people. And that's none of my damn business. That's what they choose to be. But if you're going to choose to be something different than what the ants marching ask you to be aware and don't be so stupid with your head up your ass thinking that people ain't going to come after you. They ain't going to say something. They were saying something before you said anything. Before you stepped out of line, they were talking about you. Just not about a certain subject or about something that you could be offended. Shut up. Stop being so damn sensitive. Live your life. Push harder. Don't complain about things and not do things to change it. And there's people that whine and are pissing and moaning because things are not easy. Nothing is. Paying your bills isn't easy. Even when you're a millionaire, whatever, like Mike. He's got issues too. And I love hearing his issues. And we always talk. I said, Mike, your issues just come with more zeros, man. Mine might be a $10 issue. His is a $100,000 issue. So it's, but that, that's what I told her, about her changing to believing in Islam and becoming a Muslim and everything else. And I was like, man, I don't care. Just do your research. Think with your head. Read it. Understand it. But don't fall off the deep end with it. Understand there's faults in that too. And I said, just be smart about it and use your head. That's the best way and so I'm happy for her. She seems to be happy. She seems to be doing, she said she's got a closer relationship with God and everything else now. And she feels better personally inside of her soul, inside of her heart, that that she fights harder, that she trains harder and everything else. And I thought it was great. And I just told her, look, honey, I love you. It don't matter what religion.
She's still the same person.
Yeah.
Still
I know. Yeah. But anyway, that kind of goes into my, we can go back, we talked about these, the diets, these diets that people are on, and Jessica is one of the trainers over at Hilltop Fitness, and she's, co-owner of the Hilltop Fitness, and, she trains people through the day. She teaches 4 o'clock class. I teach a lot of the classes, but she's the owner. She runs the ship over there. And these people come in and talk about diets. This keto and paleo and Miami and all this. And what do I need to do? Well, these people say this and these people say this. You're not, my thing is I want to go on a rant. I want to just, but the one thing that I always tell people is oh yeah, the keto diet. Are you cutting your macros? Are you doing that? Are you getting everything right? You can barely manage your life. And you're going to count macros and do all these things. No. Stay consistent and just eating. Because next summer, there's going to be a new diet. Because every year comes around and everybody's got all this new diets. And it's consistency. And I really wanted to say something negative right there. But, it's consistency with these. If you want to eat horrible, fine. But don't expect to work out for an hour and have abs and look like you haven't been eating like crap for 30 damn years and wondering why you don't look like the magazine because Kim Kardashian says in the magazine this is what she does. Well, you dumbass. You know what? Kim Kardashian also has a chef. She has a personal trainer that works out for her if she wants, I'm sure. She also has a lot of surgery to change her body, to change some things. Because if you look, she's not looked like she had when she first started. So things that including that ass. And so my thing with people with diets, hey man, if you got a wedding, if you got 6 weeks and you got a vacation or things, go at it, but it's staying consistent and staying at that level. I understand you can have a little bit, but these people are a lot of times gluttons in what they just devour and eat, and they expect changes because they put an hour or two in the workout week when they've been a fat body for 30 years. If that's fat shaming, I'm sorry, don't ask me. If you get embarrassed because, you don't want to hear the truth, well, don't ask me. Shit, I ain't gonna tell you the easy way. I ain't gonna sit there and tell you, you're okay. Yeah, just keep eating those butterscotch candies because those are so good for you, you chunky ass. You wonder why you have cellulite. Shut up. What do I eat? What? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the ketchup thing. But, people, I understand. I want to be, it's easy for me to go negative. It really is. Because that's, and a lot of people don't like the way I handle this or I talk. Like, well, you're a trainer and everything else, but you've got it easier, Mike. You've got it easier than I do. I've got to work all day. You live in a gym. No, I'm working all day. But you know what? I also get up at 3:30. What time did you get up? It was really early morning for me today at 9. I had to get my honey bun and my double espresso, cappuccino, frappe, mocha, your dessert to drink on your way. And wonder why they have physical problems, wonder why their health is bad, and wonder why a lot of things, it's just like, whatever happened to real vegetables? You get these, I eat green beans that are frozen. Shoot me. It's like, I don't know. But, I
think a lot of it's education. A lot of it is the way that people grew up and getting away from those habits. But really, they don't know. They don't understand it.
To me, that's a cop-out bullshit.
I don't think so.
How can you not know that sweet tea isn't good for your ass?
Okay, well, they when they come to us or they go to somebody, we tell them that, but getting them to really understand it.
I understand that. I get that, but, when you're dousing everything 3 times a day in ketchup, I got to put ketchup on my eggs, and I got to put ketchup on my sandwich, and then my fries for lunch, and then ketchup's going to be on my steak. The main thing you've eaten today is ketchup.
Did you grow up that way? What did you grow up eating? How did you grow up eating?
We had gravy. We had everything else. Mom cooked good. We ate potatoes. We ate, they call it shit on a shingle, which is like cream mushroom and a hamburger. It was normal food. I had fast food too, Yeah, we didn't grow up in a Talon. I love Talon. My little boy's name is Talon, and Dad, you want chicken and broccoli tonight, buddy? Yep, chicken and broccoli.
That's how you've taught him.
Yeah.
It took me a while to learn how to change my eating habits. It took me a while to learn what was really bad for me.
How can you not know a honey bun isn't bad for your ass?
I didn't know that until I started doing all this.
Well,
because that's how I grew up. I knew it wasn't great, but I didn't know how bad it was.
Newsflash, anybody's watching this, honey buns are bad for your ass.
It was just calories. It's just a calorie to me.
Oh, I love that too. That's
but
one
I didn't
thing.
know.
Well, that's the thing. That's well, it's the same amount of calories. It matter. Okay, smart ass. Take a 5-ounce chicken breast and then take 5 ounces of mayonnaise. What do you think's better for you? To me, it's like...
But there's things like Weight Watchers and all these things that just count these points. It doesn't matter what you eat as long as you stay within those points.
But here's the thing. I will at least give Weight Watchers in these programs something. It's consistency. They're at least getting people to stay consistent.
You're right.
With something. Because most time people won't stay consistent. They're like, well, I've been eating so good, clean for 2 days. And I'll be like, what'd you stick in your mouth? What do you got in your mouth right now? Well, it's a barrel candy. You're not supposed to eat a ton of candy. But they're eating those root beer barrel candies in their mouth and just sloshing around. I've only had 10 today.
Yeah, but they're a point each, so they can have 25 of them.
But does it count towards sugars? And that sugar's going to say,
But they don't
That's
know.
I drink coffee, but it has milk and whipped cream and this other stuff in it. It's like, that's not coffee. You're drinking dessert. You just drank pie. You just drank pie on your way to, you know. And I'm not the most understanding, and I don't pretend to be. That's why a lot of people don't like me or like my attitude towards it. But it's like, yes, educating people. The easiest thing I could say is if you want to change your diet, don't eat anything white. Stop white. That means potatoes, breads, ranch. God, he's drowning everything and just, you could just hear them breathing through their mouth. It's like, stop. Stop eating so much ranch and you might be able to swallow normal. God, like, but see, that's the thing. That's why you had to buy the gym and take over, because my way of messaging is a lot harsher, and I understand that. But there, you know, people, I don't even have that great of a body, I don't think, because I eat like crap. I go eat Andy's ice cream. I love that place. Oh my God, I get 6 of them as I go. I have 2 of them before I even get home. I got 4 more to eat when I get there. You know, but I'm going to get up at 3:30 in the morning and go work my fat ass out so that I at least maintain. I'm consistent. All I've eaten for this fight and everything is chicken and broccoli and the half of a rabbit's head today. It was chocolate. It was wonderful. But I know tomorrow morning at 3:30 I'm going to have to get up and do my work, you know, and put in, tomorrow I'm going to shoot for 8,000 calories.
You meant a chocolate rabbit's head.
Yeah,
I really thought he ate a rabbit head. No,
I ate a chocolate rabbit's head. Oh God! You know, this is the part.
Easter.
This is the part.
I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, this is the part where I like people understand. Like now, my frustration. I understand their frustration with me because I'm like, I expect you to know. You know, sweet tea with 2 cups of sugar per actual cup of water is not good for you, you know. And when I say I ate a rabbit's head today, it wasn't an actual rabbit's head. It was a chocolate bunny because it's Jesus' birthday or something happened. Somebody opened the cave. The Easter bunny opened the cave. But I know that makes people, but I don't care. Whatever. Be mad at me because I don't get your stories right. Those stories ain't true anyway.
Good thing this isn't live on Facebook.
Wow. We're playing it. We're uploading it. I mean, because that's true. It's my beliefs, and if you're not gonna like me because of my beliefs, or I'm making jest of my beliefs towards other people's beliefs,
that's not for you.
Yeah, then be offended. Be offended, and go get busy about it. Go do something. Go tell me about it. Say it in your comments, because I'm not gonna read them. I'm not going to read them. You think Michael Jordan's sitting at home reading comments like, oh, they didn't like me. They said something about something. No, the important ones don't care. You know what? That's how I feel about my damn self. You know, I don't care what other people say. You can be whatever you want and you can do whatever you want. Don't restrict me because of your rules and who you are, though. As you're trying, and don't expect not to be criticized. You know, but just like people that are like, that's fat shaming. That's fat shaming. No, you asked the wrong dude the opinion that you didn't want to hear. If you don't, you knew who I was before you asked me. You knew what I was going to tell you. What I was going to tell you is the truth. And you don't like to hear the truth because you want somebody to pat you on the ass and tell you it's going to be okay and that you're 45 and you look like that and, you know, you don't really need to change. You know, you don't have to work harder. You don't have to change your diet. No. It's all going to happen for you. Yeah, I'm sure to work out. Kiss my ass. You know, like, shut up. Shut up. Put the work in. Get up earlier. Do something more. I'll help you. I'll show you what to do. I'll be right there. How about you follow my fat ass around for a little bit and just see what I do and do what I do, at least a tenth of it. You'll have a better workout. Like the other day when Mike was in there and I was doing ropes and climbers, I did 3 rounds of ropes and climbers before he did his. And I was just seeing if my heart rate could stay in line with his. Like if I can, like how much out of breath he would be after my 4 rounds to his 1.
How'd it go?
He was really out of breath. He was out of breath and I was doing good, man. My cardio is on point, so I'm happy. But that's the thing. I do live in a gym. I do understand the point of that. I'm a lot worse than you, though. When it comes to that's all I do. When I have time right now, especially with my fight coming up, I'm nonstop. I feel guilty if I'm not hitting that workout button on my watch, which I got my watch back. I'm very happy about that. You know, because that pushes me. So tomorrow I'm going for 8,000 calories. I'm going to see if I can kill myself tomorrow because I've got 5 weeks left before somebody's going to come kick my ass. And it's my job to make sure I'm prepared for that. And that's what I think people don't understand about me is I am extreme when it comes to that. And there is a lot of people extreme. But maybe they should take a piece of that, just a small piece of that and go, you know what? I want to be the best I can. So maybe doing the same things over and over isn't the way. I'm grateful for these diets and people trying these diet plans, but what you're going to do with these diet plans, these keto and paleo and Miami and whatever, Jack's rhubarb, whatever you're doing, is going to be a failure. And I'm not putting them down. What I'm going to say is you're going to start off Monday and Tuesday doing great. I did great. Monday, Tuesday, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. I've not lost a pound yet, but I'm so proud of myself. And then so Wednesday, I'm going to have a cheat. Wednesday's going to be my cheat meal. Thursday, you're going to do good again. Then Friday, you've got a baseball game, softball game, a kid's school play, something going on. You stop through McDonald's. You hit that place. Well, I'll do better tomorrow morning. You get up in the morning. You spray ketchup all over your goddamn eggs. Over your damn eggs. And go about the soccer games. Go about these other things. You got a barbecue. You're going to go have a couple beers later that way. You're going to have to drink it. And then Sunday comes. Gotta have ice cream on Sundays. We have a family thing going on Sundays. Gotta have the cake. I'm just gonna move that. So now you've actually eaten 2.5 days good of the full week on a diet because you didn't pay attention to what was happening. That's fine. Enjoy. But no, Friday I'm gonna eat probably like crap. Maybe I should eat better through the week. Maybe I should plan this a little better. Planning is a lot of it. Being aware is a lot of it. I know Friday and Saturday I got a barbecue and my boys are going to probably drink a case of beer Saturday night. So I probably don't need to eat bad now because that's when I'm going to do it. And do it when it's time to enjoy those times. Because a lot of people will get on these diets and quit because they're like, this is too hard. I don't get to do what I want to do. No, because you ate like crap on Wednesday and Thursday. And then you didn't want to enjoy the times with your friends that you could with the drinks or the food that you could have had then. So you eat like crap the week, and then, so it is hard to change those patterns. It is hard to change those things. And I'm not saying I don't.
No, but you have to want it. They have to really want to change because it is work. You do have to change your eating habits, and you do have to change a lot of. You have to plan. You have to take your stuff with you to plan for those ball games, and.
Yeah, and that's hard because it is hard to take food. But you know what? I do like that the fast food restaurants give you other options than fries now. They give you apple slices. But you just didn't choose the apple slices. You can get a chicken breast with tomato, lettuce, and onion. Take half that bun, slap the bottom half of that bun, which is the thinner part, put it on top of the sides, and eat more of the chicken and the vegetables that are on there, and not have the other stuff. You don't got to get mayonnaise on it. You chose to get mayonnaise. You chose to get the fries. So now there's other places that are fast food and everything else. There's also places like Nukes and everything else. That's just as fast. You can order it. Everybody's got access on their phone. You can order it. So it's just being smarter and more prepared. And I'm not saying I don't understand people, but I mean, you're just not going to get a different answer on me. You're not going to get a nicer version of it from me. I generally care about people that want to care and want to take the time. And not just think that this fad diet or this is going to be this new fitness class and this new blah, blah, blah is going to be so amazing. It's going to change my lifestyle. And after 2 times, they're like, nothing's changed. Well, how long have you been that way? 30 years?
Yeah. That's the big thing is time. They want it now, and they have to realize that it's going to take.
And stay in consistency. And there's a process to it.
Yeah.
And it's I want to help. That's part of me being a caveman. I mean, people call me caveman all the time. And I'm a caveman. I only think one way. I'm just because I guess I don't tolerate it, or I just don't. But I am educated. I have been in this business for a long time, and where these people haven't been, so I should have a little bit different. Was it sympathy? Is that the word?
I think so.
Lenience.
Yeah.
What?
Lenience, tolerance.
Tolerance. There, sympathy or tolerance, whatever.
Some. I mean, I get where you're coming from.
But look how.
Once you teach them, though, and they still come back and say, "What can I have here?" and you tell them, and then they don't listen.
Well, can I eat the cheeseburger? Can I have the roll?
Can I have the roll? No, you can't have the roll.
Well,
but then
here's
they
the
still
thing.
eat the roll.
I don't like vegetables, and I don't like this, and I don't like that, and I don't like it. But I'm, you know, it's like there's a reason you're the way you are. There's a reason. You don't like anything that would make your body feel better. You know, and then once they get in this process, I feel the best I've ever felt. All I eat is chicken and broccoli. And different flavors of it. Chicken, broccoli, and coconut oil. And I feel the best I have. I look the best I ever have, and I'm 41. You know, and it's like you have to eat vegetables. I understand. You can make them taste good with coconut oil. Well, I don't like coconut. I don't like the taste of coconut. Suck it up.
Well, you're not doing it to taste good. If you want to taste good, eat a Big Mac. You're doing it to look better.
That's a good point. You know, you're eating for pleasure instead of eating for what
they're living to eat instead of eating to live.
Eat chicken and broccoli to get abs. Why are you concerned about how good it tastes? That's not your goal. Mm-hmm. Your goal isn't the flavor; it's the look.
Yes, and that's absolutely true. Like the people, I guess a lot of people will reward themselves with bad food. Well, I'm gonna reward myself with chocolate cake. Food should not be a reward. That's backwards thinking to me.
It should not be a reward, and exercise shouldn't be a punishment for kids.
They're very good. Well said. Exercise shouldn't be a punishment for kids. Yes, you know, for anybody. You should enjoy it. Now, that's one thing that people don't understand. They don't understand how to exercise. Everything else, you know, how to actually do it. Or, you know, they get nervous. And I don't want people to see me, and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to be seen. I'm embarrassed, you know. Everybody in there is embarrassed. Everybody, I make sure that, like, you know, once I get to know you and I know your sense of humor, I tease. And I try to lighten the mood. Like when we do our boxing and kickboxing classes, I know you're not a professional boxer. I am. I know you're not a professional fighter. I am. I know that you don't know how to throw a punch. Know how I know? Because I'm watching you. And you've never been a pro fighter. You've never done a kickboxing class. Don't expect don't expect to know everything and be embarrassed by what you don't know. Embrace it and go do it. You know, I love when these people come in that have never done boxing or kickboxing. And 2 weeks later, they're hitting the bat hard and they're feeling good about it. And they're it's a release for them. You know, they get to change something, but they were worried. They were self-conscious themselves. They were worried about what other people say. But once they get in those classes and they see the people right next to them are normal people, and they're like, oh, well, hell, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than this, but these people are out of breath, too. These people are screwing it up, too. These people didn't know how to punch. These people didn't know how to throw those combinations. You know, or these people didn't even know what a combination was. You know, and so I think a lot of times with people with physical fitness and diets and everything else they're scared. They're terrified of being put out there as that they don't know. Well, how the hell would you know? Why would you expect yourself to know how to box or do kickboxing? You know, that's like just like with your diet. How the hell would you know how to eat a good diet if you've been eating like crap your whole life? All you know is fast food. Because that's all your family eat. And that's something I don't expect you to know. You know, do I get frustrated that people don't know? Yeah, that's my thing. Is I get for how the hell in this day and age do you not know? But that's my, whatever you want to call it, pet peeve. Is that people don't know. They, you know, and with the access of the phone, with Siri listening and everything else, she'll tell you how many candies you've had that day and everything else. But no, it really is. You know, me, the person that I am, I guess I'm brutally honest to a fault where it might hurt people's feelings, but I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. You just asked my opinion and I gave it to you. You know, and a lot of people that know me, like when I go back home or whatever else, and people are making fun of me when I'm gone. That's what Mike would say. This is Mike would say. But, you know, that's the thing, like with the Gibsons and all the people that come in the morning, they're like, oh my gosh, I said something you would say just to Madison. You know, and they're laughing because what I say reminds them of what not to do and why you're not doing it. Because Mike said it in this way instead of, you know, being very sensitive and nice about it. I was very politically incorrect in however I said whatever I said. but it stuck with you to make sure you didn't eat that extra cookie, you know, and ruin your fat butt again. But no, that's kind of one of those things I did want to talk about a little bit of diets and stuff with people because my frustrations with it. No, I think we talked about Frasier. We talked about ASU, the Game of Thrones thing. Is there anything you want to talk about, Jessica? Oh, dude, my boy Joey Crossland. He played Arkansas when I was coaching up there, and Joey just show your shirt. Show your shirt. I love that my face is on your chest. Sorry, Brandon, that's your mom. Wessel bail bond shirts. Rip it. Tear it up.
I said rep it.
Oh, rep it.
Represent.
My bail bond shirts, which are funny to me, are $20. Instagram me at Mike Wessel Box, and we'll get your address, and you can PayPal me, Cash App me, whatever you want. But that's what reminded me. Joey Crosland, one of my former players at Arkansas, he's down in Florida. It was funny. I said, "Hey man, how you doing?" He goes, "Oh, sucking on the end of a shotgun, working for MetLife, hating life." I was like, I love my guys, you know, and just the way they talk to me and everything else. And it's good to talk to a former player like Joey, and he was telling me like he loves what I'm doing, what, you know, like. And I bet you most people will say that this podcast or whatever was kind of a little bit negative, but it wasn't. It's my true feelings, you know. And people that know me know I have good intentions. Know that I like it. Just with Joey, I love him. You know, I love him. You know, I said, "What size?" He goes, "You know, I'm XXX." I was like, you know, but you know, to each their own. You know, but that goes with if you're going to be critical of yourself, know what you did to be there. You know, you knew you put yourself in those places as far as diet. You knew you put yourself as where your body is and everything else. And if you can't laugh about it, then something's wrong because you know. Only you know. And like tomorrow, if I don't get up to work out, I know somebody's going to come kick my ass June 1st. And so I better get to working. If I want to look good in front of my hometown and stand up on that podium and have full abs and everything else, I better be eating right. I better be doing the right things and putting myself in the risk. Or asking somebody like me or you, short plug at Hilltop Fitness Kickboxing. I forgot the address. 1712 Old Greensboro Road in Jonesboro. You know, come in and ask us. Come in and talk to us. We'll show you. Everybody that walks in those doors are general people that don't know what the hell they're doing, workout-wise, what the hell they're doing, diet-wise, but they are humble enough to come in and say, "Hey, I don't know. Just show me." And that's all you gotta do is have the guts, and we'll show you. There's other places, I'm sure, in your town. Which reminds me, Rock Solid Performance, Rockford, Ohio, just became a fight sponsor of mine. Andrew Peel runs it over there. Now I'll give you the information. They contacted me today and said they want to be part of sponsoring me for the fight and everything else, which is awesome. Thank you, Rock Solid Performance, RSP. He's one of the coaches at Parkway High School for the baseball and football team, I believe. I think he's the strength and conditioning coach there. Him and his brother, which his brother has a kick butt mustache, man. He's got one of those old timey mustaches I can't grow. Yeah, it's really cool. He's but those guys
handlebar.
Yeah, a little handlebar mustache, but it's thick handlebar, you know. And I had my note on that where it is. Yeah, there it is. They specialize in like kids athletics, kids clinics, coaching clinics, teaching team, where was I? Okay, I forgot. But just they got fitness classes. It's a 24-hour gym there in Rockford, Ohio, which is not that big of a town, especially when you can't make classes and everything else. It's open there for you. Go check out Andrew Peel at Rock Solid Performance. He's one of my new sponsors. I appreciate him reaching out to me today and talking to me and becoming a sponsor for my fight. That helps me out tremendously, considering we almost lost all my gear and everything. So that helps my travel, that helps my training, that helps these guys come on the podcast. So thank you, Rock Solid Performance. Salina Glass, also the Rolfuses, my friends of mine for years. Barry, Sue, and Butter, who's Brad Rolfus, their son, and their whole entire family owns that company. And I love them very much. They do a lot of cool projects. They're CrossFit Crave, who flies me in and out first class. Matt Schindledecker, thank you, buddy. I'm going to be on Matt's podcast, by the way. He does the podcast as well when I go back to Salina. And also, I was on Middle's Open, they contacted me too. Michael Morris and Rachel Reuter. I hate names. I hope I said that right, Rachel. But they're going to have me back on as well when I come back home to Ohio here in about a couple weeks.
And that's in May, right? The second week in May.
Second week in May, yeah. Kusi, Mike Guerrero over there. Bighorn Hollers, which he's the Bighorn. Shane Plunkett is in Heber Springs because he blew a truck up. I guess $10,000 damage, so he had to go buy a new truck. So enjoy the drive, Shane. Hopefully you can listen to this. I know we didn't get Facebook Live tonight. And, of course, Tom Birch, the Rockford Carry out there. I love you, brother. He's a good friend of mine. God, he's got the best pizza. I hate the fact that I can't eat that right now. No more bad stuff for me. Not that pizza's bad for you. Not that bad. It is. It's bad for you. You shouldn't be eating pizza if you're on a diet or doing anything else. But I want it. I want pizza. But no, we hopefully will be back tomorrow night with Justin Frazier and Dexter Jenkins. If he's not able to he's going to Michigan on Tuesday. So I'm hoping that I can sneak him in here. He had his little boy and his wife, and I didn't want to have to make them wait on this Saturday and everything else. So hopefully, if we're going to spar tomorrow night at Hilltop Fitness with some of the big boys, he'll be there. And then Tuesday night at 9, Scott McDaniel's scheduled to come in, the poet. Scott McDaniel, owner of Rams Construction, where he runs Rams Construction. His father owns it. And then he's also part of the city council, doing some cool things for Jonesboro. So tomorrow, hopefully, we have Justin Frazier and Dexter Jenkins. Tuesday, we'll have Scott McDaniel, and hopefully we'll have all these gimmicks and all these stuff taken care of when we go live on Facebook and YouTube. We'll download it, upload it here in a minute. Have a good weekend. Do something tomorrow to better yourself. Get up earlier. If you have a hope, if you have a want, if you want to become something, find something, Google it right now. So when you wake up in the morning, you know to look up, but this is what I got to do today. I got to do this one thing to better myself for whatever my goal is. See you tomorrow.